as advanced. And by the way, if you are familiar with Spielworxx games, Tharos will be in the smaller Spielworxx game, because a game box, it doesn't have this huge game board. So this will be the same size as Grand Trunk Journey, as Gentes, and that size of it. Yeah, we'll see. Can you hear me? Was helpful? Yes. So we're getting a response that we can be here. So again, I'm very sorry for this inconvenience, but yeah, well, I can't help it. So what I will do now, briefly, I will just show the cover of the game, the proposed cover. You see it here. So it's of course stylized, and the bottom here has some crystals in there, so which are very important in the game. So this is the box front, and you see there is on this planet there is some mining. So artwork is of course by the always amazing Harald Lieske. Maybe you saw him yesterday on the stream. So that's the cover. And I will show you a few of the cards here, especially of the terrain cards. And maybe you're repeating this. How is the game, Bernd? How is this game board put together? How is this done?
In the beginning, you have to arrange that cards, to shuffle the terrain cards, and lay out 4x4 cards adjacent to each other, and that is a grid of 4x4 cards. And the terrains have 5 colors. That's white, blue, green, yellow, and red, and that's matching to the dice. They also have the same colors.
Yes.
The cards have that colors, and these cards will begin that game with 2 resources on each, 1 crystal and 1 ore. And the players can try to pick them up to get medals for delivering ores or crystals. That means the game, the story behind Tharos, sorry, is that you have a planet where not the whole surface is discovered, and you have on Tharos there are certain cities or towns, and they try to expand. And they have to undertake an exploration. This exploration is the background of Tharos. So they decide, they had sent scouts to that certain region. And they said, okay, that's nice to have an exploration there, to make maps, to test whether that resources are good enough, or the amount is right. And then they decide to do an exploration. And the 4 players, Tharos is up to 4 players, they take the roles of guild masters. They're controlling a guild, and they try to get the most medals.
Yes.
Medals are worth victory points, and the winner of the game is the player with the most victory points. And on Tharos, the guilds are honored with medals, and if anybody reads the story of Tharos, I have 5 chapters up on Board Game Geek in the files section. It's in German and in English, and then you can read something about that Tharos is an exciting story, and there you get some information, some background information. And that's the game. You try, the player as a guild master tries to get medals. You can have 4 different medals. You have and fighting medal, and exploration medal, and trading medal, and then civil medal.
Yeah, you see, because Bernd, you don't see this, but I've brought the punch board. Number 1 up here. So this is the player tableau of a single player, and you see in the left part the values for medals, so these would be victory points at the end. And if you have seen the physical copy of Throne of Allegoria, the individual player board, they are punched through so that you can put small wooden dice through it and they won't shift because they are here. So these white parts here, this will be punched through completely, and the die then is on the table. And you start, of course, with a value of 0, and you can increase to up to 7.
That's Uli. That's more difficult for cheaters to advance and counter.
Yeah, and especially if you accidentally hit the table, so nothing should move there.
That's really good.
Yeah, and of course this is double-sided, so one side will be German language and the other side, as you see now, the other side will be English language. And on the left side you see where you can place your individual die. So you can get money, you can roll you can place some of your markers to
very good action cards.
Excellent action cards, and you can get even select one out of several ones if the white die is correct. And so the choices are large. And here, last thing here for me, Bernd, then you can buy new dice with money. So red one, green one, then the two, yellow one, 2 green ones, and the most expensive right at the start are the 2 blue ones. Yeah. So back to you, Bernd.
Yeah. I always thought when you roll dice, often you are frustrated because you roll, not that dice you want to have, and that's often a problem. And I thought every die, every single die, you must use.
Yes,
and that's the idea. You can use normally. No die is wasted. You always have to
absolutely
put a die on an action. And it's a good action, and that's it.
Yeah.
If it's a single action card, well, the action cards are really, really good, and they all my gaming group and all that players I played Tharos over the years, I always wanted to have action cards, a lot of action cards, because they change a little bit the game, and it's really nice.
Yeah, they are very good for dynamics in the game. So no game is the same. And even if you're thinking at a certain point you are behind, if you have good action cards, you can make up here. And of course, each player also has a deck of 10 player cards, and these are very important as well. And it's a 2-step process. So first you have to buy them. So each player has these 10 cards. But you first have to buy them, so with dice, and then you put them on the table. And only now they are active. And then you can use them, often by using another die per turn. So this is also a very strong factor, in my opinion, of the game. This is very well handled.
Uli, if you ever played Magic the Gathering.
Yes, I did.
So when you play your card, when you activate your card, you can use it immediately. That's different to Magic. So if you play a Magic card, you can use it just right now.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And also the difference to other games is that if one card allows you maybe to manipulate a die, add a pip or reduce a pip, then you must buy that for that action with a die. That's a difference. It's not an automatic situation. Oh yeah, now I can add or reduce a pip. No, you must buy that with a die. That's what do I do with my dice?
Yeah, and so it's also what I like about Tharos, that it scales very well. It plays very well with 2, it plays very well with 3, plays very well with 4. So this is another very good factor. And it's not a game. So although Spielworxx, of course, stands for long games and more complex game, but it's not ultra complex, ultra long. Especially when you know the rules with 2 players, you can play it in a pretty good time.
It was a good process. So Tharos in the beginning with an hardcore game with very difficult, very long, and then the process to reduce it to an reduced set of cards, to reduced playing time, and then when we both it's years ago when we started.
First, yeah.
It's really a good how that a game developed. So to reduce mechanics and to reduce playing time, to make it smoother, to make it to rise the playability, and that's it. It was a very good process.
Yeah, but when I had the game first in hand, so you could immediately see the quality of the game. So it was very good. But at that time, it fortunately it did not have 55 player cards, but it still had 20. And even 20 was too much, because when it's your turn and you have to select, or you have a hand of 20 cards and you need to which card do I bring into play? Do I bring a card in play? No, maybe not, or maybe yes. So downtime was way too long. So sometimes, as the people are saying, less is indeed more. So definitely this is also true for your game, Bernd.
And we can say, if you are experienced with Tharos, so we have it circles in the play around. The first player takes an action, the second player takes an action, the third player, and so on. And if you are experienced, then you can do it at the same time, and
yes.
that reduces the play time. Yeah, really. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary. If you want to have joy with the game, and if you want to play it not in a fast pace, then take your time and act each. But if you want to speed it up, you can play it all players at the same time.
Yes,
that's possible. Not necessary, but it's possible.
Yeah, and Uwe, I think Uwe was his name from the chat. He's saying, by having plenty of cards, and most cards didn't even see the game. Yeah, more choices are not necessarily better, because then by nature you have cards that are not that valuable to you, and you are just flipping through the cards and just picking always the same ones. So this is another plus, of course. And yeah, I like this. And personally also, I love back-building games, because maybe I haven't mentioned this strong enough, but maybe for the end here, at the end, I'm again putting up the punch board, the player board. So each player is starting with a certain number of dice, so various colors, but you do not start with any blue dice, with any green dice, and you only have, I think, 2 red dice
and 2 yellow.
Exactly. So you need to, especially the green and blue ones, you need to bring them into play if you want to do special things. But you could also say, no, I'm not buying any blue dice because I won't use this function. And this, of course, like in any deck building games or back building games, means you cycle through your pool of dice faster. And this can be also a strategy. And this is, of course, really beautiful in this game and very well handled. You can buy more cards, and actually you should buy more dice, but you don't have to. And you don't have to buy all of them. So this is always up to you. Yeah. So, Bernd, anything else to add at the end, or what do you think?
I think Tharos will be interesting game for a good amount of players, and I think when they play Tharos, they will recognize that it has a very long history. Yeah. And it's really, it was a hard work, not only for me, and I think it's worth
Yeah, yeah. I think, of course, I think it's worthwhile. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this. And so I think Bernd has done a really good job here. And combined with the artwork from Harald, I think this will be a great release. Look out for this game in the first quarter, maybe end of first quarter, maybe February of next year. So that's what we are aiming for. Hard facts: it's 2 to 4 players, and playing time when you know the rules, and it's only 2 players. You can play the game in 60 minutes. Could be longer for your first game with 4 players. It's of course a little bit longer. And complexity, rules wise, mechanics wise, you are in the game after one complete turn. You know what to do. Playing it well, of course, yeah, needs some more time.
Easy to play, hard to handle.
Yeah, this is always a good thing. So, first, thank you, Bernd, being here, being my guest. So this is wonderful. Thank you for your presentation of Tharos.
For the invitation.
And thank you all. Thank you very much to all viewers. And please excuse that we had this technical problems. It's not, hopefully, it's not my fault, but I didn't even recognize this. And hopefully, for the rest of ConWorxx, this was the last one. And sorry, Bernd, that this happened to you.
It's not too early for whiskey.
That's fine. That's a good one. So that is yeah. I had already one prosecco, as you maybe saw this morning at 9 o'clock. So I have to be careful. Otherwise, I fall asleep, and this would be probably not a good sign. So,
okay.
So thank you very much, and
yeah. May the board game be with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. We continue here in 12 minutes with first look at 1837